told you that while most countries make you jump through hoops, beg at consulates, and cough up fees just to set foot on their soil, Burkina Faso has decided to do the opposite.
Merci beaucoup, camarades. Et bonjour à tous.
As of September 11th, 2025, travelers headed to Ouagadougou from anywhere on the African continent will no longer pay a single franc in visa fees. President Ibrahim Traore, through his security minister Mahamadou Sana, made it clear the days of Africans paying to prove their Africanness are over. From now on, if you are African, the only thing standing between you and Burkina Faso is a quick online application. No begging, no bank breaking, just click, apply and come.
Séance du 11 septembre 2025, le Conseil a examiné.
At its session of 11th September 2025, the Council examined an addendum to the revised finance law establishing the free issuance of visas for nationals of African countries. It should be recalled that, pursuant to the provisions of Law No. 2000-024 of 22 February 2000, governing the conditions of entry, stay, and exit of nationals and foreigners in Burkina Faso, access to the national territory remains subject to the presentation of a valid visa, except in cases where exemptions are provided under certain bilateral or regional agreements. Henceforth, pursuant to this report, no African national shall be required to pay any fee for the issuance of a visa. Applicants will only be required to submit an online application, through which they may obtain a visa free of charge. It is important to emphasize that gratuity does not constitute exemption. The requirement to submit an online application remains in force. Each application shall be subject to review, and, if approved, the African national concerned shall be granted a visa at no cost for entry into Burkina Faso.
But here's the bigger question. Why Burkina Faso? And why now? You see, this isn't just about travel paperwork. It is about politics, and the kind that gives Western capitals, especially Paris, a pounding headache. Since taking power in a coup, Traore has built his image as a Pan-African crusader. He has been blunt about dismantling old colonial ties, unflinching in his criticism of Western influence, and vocal about building an Africa that doesn't survive on handouts.
Because they have surely seen something we are doing that, according to them, can allow Africa to get out of this situation. And for us, it encourages us, it remotivates us to continue the fight. That's why I said it's a pressure, it's a very heavy responsibility.
Leaders before him tried to walk this road. Some were compromised, some were silenced, and others didn't live long enough to finish the fight.
Continuing our line of Pan-African struggle, hoping that it can resonate with all African youth and that the Pan-Africanism we so desire can become a reality. Because Africa has suffered a lot, it is time for us to unite, work and develop, just as Africans go elsewhere to see the way of life and everything there is. In Africa, it is possible.
Traore, though, he hasn't blinked. That stubbornness has earned him both admiration and enemies, along with a growing reputation as the face of Pan-Africanism. Scrapping visa fees is his latest move in that campaign. It is a symbolic thank you to Africans who have rallied behind him online, shared his speeches, and crowned him a revolutionary figure.
With this report, and in accordance with the Pan-Africanist vision of the head of state, Burkina Faso reaffirms its firm commitment to strengthening the historic bonds of fraternity among African peoples. Henceforth, pursuant to this report, no African national shall be required to pay any fee for the issuance of a visa.
But it is also practical. The Burkinabe government says the decision is about making it easier for Africans and their goods to move freely across the region.
The significance of this decree is twofold: to effectively strengthen the free movement of African peoples and their goods across the continent, to advance African integration.
Burkina Faso now joins Ghana, Rwanda, and Kenya in rolling back barriers for Africans.
They came, divided us, And they have taught us to keep each other from each other. Then they're mingling with each other and making money and growing, but they have taught us to hate each other. But for us to really enjoy the true economic benefits of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, we need to behave like the Europeans and allow for the free movement of people and trade. To this end, in our contribution to this continental aspiration, Kenya is committed to progressively, and we are moving very fast by the end of this year, to abolish visas to citizens from African Union member states to make it easier to invest and do business in Kenya and across the continent.
The African Union has been pushing this agenda for years too, arguing that it should not be easier for Europeans or rather Americans to visit Africa than for Africans themselves.
For an African to visit a European nation, an ordinary African to visit a European nation, is like, let me give you an example my teacher used to use. It's like trying to milk an elephant because of the visa process. However, for a European to visit an African nation, most of our nations, it is like a walk on the beach. It's like going to have a cup of tea. But then that is not the problem. The tragedy is that now for an African to visit a fellow African within the African Union, the visa restrictions in many of our nations, among us, between our brothers and sisters, is like trying to brush the teeth of a crocodile.
People from Zimbabwe, people from Namibia coming in. One of the challenges on the African continent, we must admit, is the difficulties in free movement of goods and services. Services here we mean even skills. Services we mean people who come visit our country. A person from France carrying a French passport enters this country easily and goes. A person from some of these African countries, some of them have a lot of money. They want to come here. We have visa. It's a mess. Because we have the colonial hangover of being overly suspicious of other black people. So we need to grow out of this colonial hangover. If we give a person carrying an American passport, we give a person carrying a French or European passport free access, easy access. Let's give access. It is not unregulated. It is regulated. You come in, right?
Slowly, that tide seems to be turning. For Traore, though, this isn't just integration policy, it is branding. By opening Burkina Faso's doors at zero cost, he is inviting Africans to come see what a country looks like when it refuses to bow to its former colonial masters.
I'm at Stadium de 4 Août. This is also called the 4th August Stadium. 4th August is the day that Burkina Faso got independence. So that is le Stade de 4 Août.
He wants visitors not just to pass through Ouagadougou, but to witness a living, breathing experiment in Pan-Africanism.
Trees whisper ancient tales, winds carry secrets through the trails, stars above they blink and sing, I might be losing everything, drums talk back they never lie, baseline deep it holds the sky, keys that shimmer like the dew.
We are going to open the borders of Kenya. We do not fear our fellow Africans. Come, travel to Kenya. Live, do business in Kenya. Trade, make money in Kenya. And we hope we'll get reciprocity with the rest of you. Let us open our continent so that we can make money and live together. Let us remove the shackles of colonialism that are still embedded in our heads.